G'day everyone, my name's Noah and you're watching TJM Farming here on YouTube. And today is Good Friday, so happy Easter everyone. By the time you'll see this is going to be probably well after Easter, but we got some exciting news. A couple of you may remember I mentioned in the channel update video that an old friend was coming home soon because of the forklift. Well, he is a forklift, but he's also little, he's red, and he's a tractor. Little Red's home. So for those who don't know, this tractor is a 2007 Case International JX70, fitted with a battered CTM 1-ton forklift on the front. And this was bought by my late grandfather, who we refer to as Pop, that year at the Expo. And since then we've had our ups and downs with it, and well, of course it's had its uses as the forklift. And me being a little toddler at the time, I watched a particular TV show called The Red Tractor. That's how this particular tractor got its name, and it's been on the farm ever since, until of course today, where it's come to its new home, where we are also now based. And the reason why it's come down a lot earlier than expected is because we had a Toyota forklift that, for those who don't know, if you follow my Instagram on TJM Farming, you will know that the other day it got itself bogged just over there when we were putting the cool room in. I didn't film that with a GoPro, but point being, it sucked, we didn't like it, so Little Red's coming home. Some people might be wondering why it has the forklift on the front, where most of these tractors, the specific model, the JX series, they would oftentimes be fitted with front end loaders. Pop had very specific requirements for a tractor to fill, and because Case did not have any JX70s at the time that had a front end loader, Little Red was basically on display at the Expo. We brought him straight home after it ended, so we bought him as is in show condition. So, and you might also be wondering, why do we have so many loader tractors, or loaders in general? Because we've got the Chamberlain 9G over there with front end loader, we've got the Toyota forklift still, which is up at the other farm, and we also got the big yellow loader, the WCM. The reason why we have so many loaders is, well, we have specific needs for what these loaders can lift. Obviously, we have to have so many because there are certain points in the year where we have a lot of vehicles out the paddock doing something. Like, say for example, Little Red is not just a loader, he's a tractor as well. So we can use him on field bin duty, hay cutting, hay raking, stuff like that. And he takes on pretty much the smaller work that the bigger tractors don't really tend to do. And the big loader is mostly used for like picking rocks and chipping bush and stuff like that. The loader will be coming down here too, but that brings the question of the Chamberlain just out of view over there. The reason why we had that is because that belonged to the old owners. We bought it from them, and that's the only loader tractor we had at the time. That will be staying with us for predominantly the majority of the year, until of course Little Red will take over the Chamberlain's duties once we get everything down here. And also the feed out bin, which is right there, you won't find anything else like it, because that one just happens to be a custom invention that Dad built himself as well. Anyway, in other news, a couple of days ago we went to a clearing sale just west of us, somewhere around that sort of area, and we bought some more panels to replace the aging vintage sheep yards out at the Dirt Rider Heaven paddock there. I was actually told that they dated about a lot further than what we thought they were, between the 1930s and the 1950s. Obviously, that's really, really, really old. Of course, we're no stranger to that, but those sheep yards are unbearable to work in. So we bought those panels and a trailer to go along with for the upgrade. And we also bought a new mulesing cradle because we sold the old one. To save taking stuff back and forward. But of course, with anything that happens on the 13th day of the month, for us in this instance it was Wednesday the 13th of April, yeah, just a heads up, don't try and buy anything like dirt cheap at a clearing sale and bring it home the same day on the 13th. It never works out well in our instance, because I didn't film this, but the trailer blew out a tyre on the side of the road. He had nowhere else to go, so in an avid attempt to get it out of the way and stop people from crashing into it, because it was a clear road hazard, we put it somewhere safe. Don't you worry about that. But now we have to go and retrieve it. So Dad's unloaded some tyres he brought back from Nelly Creek, putting it on the trailer there once he's unloaded that, and then he's going to race over to that paddock we put it in and see if we can take some of the panels off that trailer, put it onto our livestock trailer, and then bring it back, and then hopefully go to retrieve the other one. Does that make sense? Good. Whoa. Well, that took a little bit longer of a break than I expected. By the time you see this, it's been quite a lot of weeks since I recorded that last video. Little Red's been home, Dad's been back up at Canada helping our old neighbours out with their seeding program. Big Blue's been stuffing up, but they'll be home in a couple of weeks' time. So right now it's just me, my sisters and Mum running the farm while Dad's up at Canada. So, and what I'm doing right now, we're going to check sheep. Let's go. Hello burnt combine. So between recordings here, when you last saw us in this previous clip of the videos, that was taking about Good Friday in April. It's late May now. We've had quite a lot of rain, and as you can see, the road is now overgrown with grass. We've had drops of 24 mils of rain. Unfortunately, some areas have not been having as good a rain as we have. But anyway, hello sheep. Oh no, it's the bloomin' human with the camera. Good morning, ladies. Don't mind me. I'm just coming to look at your feed trough. So as you can quite clearly see, just over there and in there and everywhere, there's little baby sheep running around. The ewes have been really busy with the rams, and they've been popping out a lot of babies. That's a good thing. A lot of people would think that, well, obviously it's late autumn here in Western Australia and Australia in general at the time of recording this, and over in America it's springtime. Animals are dropping like crazy. Dropping in a good way, like being born, not dying. But with that means that obviously spring for America, autumn for us, winter's on the way. It's going to get bitterly cold down here. It won't be the same as what we're used to, but what can you do, really? So obviously while the sheep are running away, we're not mustering them today. We're not doing any form of mustering at all. I'm just going to go check their water trough, make sure it's clean, and if they need any hay bales, we'll get that sorted when Dad comes home. Or maybe I'll be able to sneak onto the red tractor and see if I can do that, because I have not driven a tractor since January. That's crazy. They may look like they're all bolting away, but I can assure you they're a lot tamer on Erinvale than they were in Mugga Wugga. And the reason because of that is because Mugga Wugga is known as wild country, I guess you could say that. Mostly due to the fact that there were certain characteristics about that country that made sheep go a little bit wild. Mostly double G bushes. Around here we have a lot more natural shrubs and stuff that are natural, native to Western Australia here. Sheep like that a little bit better. And not only that, we're working really hard to make sure that the sheep have enough feed and also respect the native wildlife around here too. It's very important to look after your ground, because this land has been worked by many people thousands of years. If we respect our land, it will grow, it will flourish, and in future it will be there for future generations to see. And right up here, you may remember a couple of videos back where I mentioned that we have quite a differentiation in soils and ground foliage. That side, it's patchy because it's white sand. White sand is a type of soil that is not very good for sandplain farming. That side over there, you can see there's a lot more covered ground, and that is mostly due to the fact that there's different soil types. It ranges between yellow, white sand, got a bit of red country too, as I mentioned before. Got quite a different variety. It's good. Shrublands. Yes, hello lambs. Oh, I'm sorry if I spooked you. Righto. So another matter to do with checking sheep, another job, is cleaning the water troughs. To do this, well, as you can see right here, we have a water trough, and we use this thing called a trough plug. What this does is it drains the plug, which you can barely see in there, and then we use a broom to wash the trough out, and once the trough is clean, we screw the plug back in there for the water to refill. Now you can see right here, I'll demonstrate it. So what I'm doing right now is undoing the trough plug. And it undoes just like so. Obviously, water will go everywhere when doing this. And once we do that, I grab a broom like so, and I brush all this gunk and crap out of the trough. And last thing you want to do when you've finished cleaning it is screw the plug in, and that's how you clean a trough. It will fill up with water, ready for the sheep to come and drink it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dirt Rider Heaven, also known as the racetrack paddock that should never have been made, because this is 80 wasted hectares that could have been gone to good cropping country. Now, concerning these vintage yards, in the previous video I did a brief snippet of what it was like working in them, a brief time lapse of me pushing sheep from those corner pens up through here and then down into that race so we could needle them. That did not work. These yards are not very efficient. They aren't very safe. The gates kept collapsing on us, and if you put too much pressure on them, that one right there, that would fall out of its sockets and completely fall flat. And those gates down there, they had to be held together with wire, and half the time the wire broke, I had to push it shut so we could stop the sheep from pushing out, because that would have been incredibly annoying. I learned that these yards dated well back further than we thought. We thought that these looked like 1960s, 1970s yards, all were very, very dodgy when they were put up. Keeping in mind that Erinvale, before the owners that we bought it from, they were only here for 6 years, and they did up those cattle yards over there. Before that, this farm went under several owners, one of which was a wheeler dealer, which is how Dirt Rider Heaven ended up the way it is. Put it simply, these yards, they need to go. And from hence this day forward, I shall, whenever I mention these yards and we are forced to work with them, we shall dub this the vintage yards, because I have learned that these date between the 1930s and the 1950s. 80 years ago, or 90 even. It's 2022 now. If these yards still are in action by about 2035, 2038, I'd say, these would be 100-year-old yards. They're dreadful to work in. Many farm work historians would tell you that sheep yards like this, where they're rusty, they're falling to bits, and they've dated back from that long, will tell you that it was awful for both humans and sheep to work in yards at all. Unfortunately, until our new panels, which we have ordered to create a sheep yard back down at the main farm, until those are ready, we have to deal with these. So, with that being said, we figured out that in order to work these yards, we either need 3 people or 2 people and a dog. Where are you going with this, Noah, you may ask? We're getting a dog, baby. Yep, we're getting a little Kelpie. She's 5 weeks old at the moment. Old friends of ours, when we were up north, they had a dog who gave birth to a bunch of puppies. And our dog, which will be joining us and will be appearing in videos from 2 weeks from now when I record that. From then on, she'll be our sheepdog. And, well, I bet you can guess the name, but we're going to call her Bindi. And, well, she'll have a proper introduction when she comes. So, on this side of the farm, we don't have any ewes with lambs. However, we do have what are referred to as teenage sheep, otherwise known as weaners. Not weaners as sausages, but weaners as in they've been weaned from their mothers so they can learn to be independent. And there they are now. Hello, girls. They like to stand around in groups and chat away, much like teenage humans. And when one runs, they all follow. It's very, very exciting nature. Hello, sheep. No, don't you bother trying to go through that fence. I'm just passing through. I'm not mustering you today. They're still pretty camera shy. I'm still rather amazed that at the top tank here, very fitting name, you can see practically the entire farm and the whole valley. And, well, it's quite the view actually. Over there, you can see that's our paddock on the hill there, and the road beyond, that's, well, a rather historical place, which I'm not going to mention in this video. It'll probably come up a few times in later videos, but you can see we've got that paddock over there, which is all green, that paddock over there, that paddock right here, the weaners down here, and dirt right of heaven. And, well, yeah, it's quite a beautiful view. Probably to motorbike track enthusiasts, this would be quite an interesting view. But to me, dirt right of heaven is a little bit ugly. And rest assured, we shall return racetrack paddock, as Dad has nicknamed it. We shall restore it to how it was. Oh, and look, here come the cows. There's Ruby and Clarabelle. Yes, that's what their names are. They are over there. Hello, cows. I don't know. Should I try playing the trombone for them? I don't know how they'd react. Yeah, I also would like to mention that the cows and the weaners have somehow become friends. I don't know how that works. But because both Ruby and Clarabelle are heifers, which is around the same age as the weaners, they'll be almost ready to become mother cows soon. We're planning to get a bull, and well, we haven't thought a name of it yet because we haven't got it, but when we do, we're thinking something along the lines of Boof. But yeah, that's just an idea. Anyway, here's some of the other weaners that are all the way over here. Whoa, that's a big drop. And here we are to clean their trough. Because we've run out of storage on the SD card, I'm going to have to leave it here today. So, cheers for watching, everyone. If you made it this far in the video and you would like to help support the channel and you want to see more content from me in future, please do be sure to hit the like button and the red button that says subscribe below this video, over here I think, I'm not sure. Basically on the right hand side of your screen there will be a red subscribe button. If you could tap that and make it grey and tap the bell as well, that will show YouTube that you want to help us grow, you want to help us get our videos out there so we can educate people on what it's like to farm in this part of the world. And yeah, I've been Noah, otherwise known as the Johnny Man. You've been my audience. Stay safe out there in this crazy world we live in, and until next time, happy farming, people.